Primetime. That's the name.
Primetime.
Primetime.
What time is it? Showtime Primetime.
It's XL Primetime, featuring Joe C.
Why in the world am I sitting back and being quiet about this?
Matt Hayes.
Oh, my God. This is ridiculous.
And Leon Searcy.
If you can't hang with the big dogs, stay on the porch.
How you like me now? How you like me now?
It is getting closer and closer, ladies and gentlemen. We are down to basically a 54-hour window, okay? Something in that neighborhood is the 2 o'clock hour. That is just such a glorious sound when the NFL draft gets ready to open up its doors for business Thursday night. Cannot wait. Somewhere around 9 o'clock, the Jaguars should be on the clock, and that is if they stay at 5. So we got plenty to get into on XL Primetime. We got our head coach, Dave Campo, hanging out with us today. Big Searcy, once again, has done it. He's brought in another great lunch. It's just unbelievable, bro. Unbelievable. Over the top, but just kind of keeping us fed and ready for, and hungry, not hungry for food, but hungry for the NFL draft. That's what you're doing.
Listen, I share because I care.
Yeah, I know that.
That's the reason why I share.
You're a giver, man.
Y'all got to make sure, I can't have you lightheaded right before the draft, so make sure you got
You're a good man, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Honestly, not only that, he brought one with mustard, too.
Yeah, I brought one with the mustard. I felt bad last time. He didn't have his mustard. He looked all around the studio and could not find a packet.
Literally
all day.
It was
all day.
was an experience. I got to be honest with you.
It was frustrating.
It was.
There are no mustard packs in this?
Nowhere. He looked everywhere, trust me.
I do know that I would occasionally bring my smoothies in, and there are no straws. So that I realized, but I didn't realize there wasn't any mustard. There's a lot of ketchup.
Yeah, a lot of ketchup.
I think once hackers started giving up some of the ketchup, it just started to pile up more and more because no one was sucking it out of the packet the way hackers would do it back in the day. Oh, I love it. Yeah. I love it. All right, so we have got wall to wall.
I felt like you were being a little hackerish to start the show with your hours countdown to the draft.
And
you weren't very smooth at it.
I was gonna say,
I was like, Hack would have known to the second, really.
And ladies and gentlemen,
and you knew that I did a lousy job.
T-minus 48 hours.
I'm sitting there going, this sucks right now. Because I was just trying
than it looked.
I was just trying to do the math. I'm like, all right, 2.
Right, but he does it like immediately,
that's
man.
6 hours plus 48. Should I say 72?
The best with him is like say, well, what day, what hours, blah blah blah, and within 3 seconds he'll go 43 hours.
Yeah. Like, there's no way. I have no shot there.
It's Thursday night.
It's Thursday night,
right?
And it's gonna be good.
And the year has just flown by.
Yeah, it really has.
Golly.
When you get to be 77 like me, that's when it flies by.
I mean, it's already late April.
Well, I think the one line that always gets me is whenever you get to New Year's, you're closer to 2050. You're closer to 2055 than you are to 1995. That's a hell of a thing.
Why do you need to say that? Like we were just kidding around, and you bring that up.
That's actually
you just bring the show down.
Well, that's good because Leon.
How was that bringing the show down? I'm just saying
because we don't want to hear that stuff. Yeah. We're like, let's go, man.
Leon knows the next 50 Super Bowl winners.
He does,
right? And I think the Jags is close to that year, right?
Yeah, 2055.
No, it was actually
2047.
What was it? Chat GTP or whatever it's called.
I saw it. I saw
GT.
that. Yeah.
Okay, well they had the Jaguars winning the Super Bowl in
47, I think.
Yeah.
2040.
40. I thought 47? It was 47.
Yeah, I had to check my notes. I had to go back to my
47.
notes. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Those aren't the same people that are doing the tournament, are they? Your tournament?
No, not quite. No.
All right.
No. Will the Canes have won the ACC by then?
Well, you know what? Actually, they have the Canes win the championship 2 times within the next 10 years.
Oh.
They got
you're going to let him get by with that low blow after you beat him by just 34 points the last time he played?
They got another one coming.
I just wanted to make sure.
Or 24 points, I should say. I mean,
yeah, they got
let him get away with that.
Listen, they get another one.
A crap conference.
Look, I speak by actions, not volume.
See, JJ's not. JJ's petty. He'd bring up 41-17 immediately.
Yeah, but that's old.
As well he should. There's no
I
doubt.
did hear Carson Beck on our friend Denny's podcast, not to give something else publicity, but he sounds locked in. and I'm ready. It got me super pumped for this.
Well, he's apparently getting rid of all the other distractions.
Side stuff,
It's crazy when you start checking out what social media is saying about so and so.
It's one of the twins.
But see, but here's the thing. That's a good thing for Miami. When there's chaos, we win.
Maybe you might.
Told you, right?
You might be
I'm
right.
just saying.
The latest video really upset me, where she was claiming that he didn't have any friends.
Yeah, she just didn't like
and
it.
that's why she broke up with him.
No, whatever.
I'm like, good. I don't want him to have friends. Go out there. Exactly. Ball out, dude.
Yeah.
JJ wants his friend to be the film room.
Exactly.
Women weaken legs rock.
Your friend is Shannon Dawson, okay?
Let's get to the draft. We got to get to the draft. We got an hour with our head coach, and he gets crazy whenever we go off the exit ramp this fast, just like we just did. All right. So I just want to start off with this. The chatter is it real or is it not? Most people would agree right about this time, you can just start to send out a bunch of football lies and make people think this could be going down or that could be going down. Do you really believe that Ashton Jeanty is a hot product, so much so that Peter Schrager this morning on Get Up, Leon, said that Cleveland and New York, the football giants, are open for business, that they are taking calls with that second and third pick in the draft, and it has maybe as much to do with Ashton Jeanty as any other player.
Well, I mean, listen, he's the most dynamic back in the draft right now, and I think we can all say there's a copycat. Listen, let me tell you what Saquon Barkley did for the running back room. Okay, he elevated it. Now, I'm not saying that Ashton Jeanty is going to be Saquon Barkley, but when you have a guy like Saquon, the success he had in the NFL behind that offensive line, you know, we're going back to 90s football, and I love it. Yeah. I love the fact that we're going back to 90s football, running the game, pounding, ground and pound, you know, play action, all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, Saquon Barkley probably has a lot to do in his success that he had last year. Not only him, but Derrick Henry, those type of guys. So, I mean, the quarterback position is not – don't get me wrong, it's still, as far as salary-wise, it's still weakening. But I'm saying, as far as looking at those, if you tell him he's Saquon Barkley or in some capacity – with his elusiveness, listen, I haven't seen a jump move like that from Ashton Jeanty since the days of Freddie T.
Freddie T. He's got some jukebox moves. There's no doubt about it. That hop, step, and run, that's sweet.
He reminds me of Sanders.
Yes.
You know, that he was one of those guys that could go lateral and then still accelerate for 20 yards.
Which I could never understand, Coach.
Yeah, I know. Me neither. I had to play against him.
He ran fast sideways, man. I mean, Joe.
Yeah.
He ran fast sideways. Barry Sanders.
Yeah, I do love it. All right, so now the other half of this is that there's people interested in maybe jumping up, which means they're going to jump over 5. Do we think Jacksonville, the closer and closer we get, are going to be staying at 5? That's the question. You and I just did our Campo and Joe podcast, and you feel like there's what? Give me the percentage that you think they'll stay at 5 or move out of 5.
I'm going to say 75% they're going to stay.
Okay.
And the only reason I say that is because if these guys in front of them are willing to do business,
right,
they're probably going to do business with them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're not going to – I think Jacksonville, you guys can agree or not agree. To me, there's a lot of smoke screen going on with Jacksonville. They're in a position where they're kind of a wildcat in there. You know, which direction are we going to go? What are we looking at? And to be honest with you, if they can get above us, because there's a chance we could take Jeanty. There's no question about it.
Yeah. And Jacksonville, I don't like the idea of it because I don't think they have an offensive line to create a superstar in Ashton Jeanty. They just don't, not right now. The only way I'd be okay with it, at least a little okay with it, is if they came right back in the second round and got a big beef eater up front. But Ashton Jeanty, without any of those other things happening here in Duval, that I don't like that idea at all. They need to do something else to complement.
Well, if they go get Ashton Jeanty at 5 and then give me a guard at 36, I might be okay with that.
I might be all right with that.
I might be all right with that. The guard from Ohio, was it Donovan Mitchell?
Donovan Jackson.
Jackson. Yeah, Donovan Jackson. You give me him at 36, and he fills in at the left guard position,
right,
I'm good.
Yeah, you give me Tyler Booker, you give me somebody like that.
Yep.
Tate Ratledge would be a little bit later. There's certainly other ones. If you go Frazier from LSU at the center position, that could work. If you got one of those linemen that you wanted to maybe project long-term outside at tackle but still could play inside early, you'd be all right with that.
Yeah. Well, I said on the podcast, I'll take Fred Taylor any day. I'll take Emmitt Smith any day. You know, if you've got guys like that, and you can, but if we do take that,
right,
we're looking beyond this year. We're looking next year and the year after, because they're going to have to clean up some stuff to make the guy worth it. But, you know, I go on the Jimmy Johnson deal. He always said, you take the guy that can score points for you. And that's, you know, that's a guy, if he's special, you know, with the Cowboys, when I was doing radio and TV back there, it was Ramsey, which Jacksonville took, or it was Zeke Elliott. And everybody asked me, who do you take, Ramsey or Zeke Elliott? And everybody expected me to say Ramsey. Well, I said Zeke Elliott. Yeah. And I said Zeke Elliott because he can score points. And I think that was the right pick, to be honest with you.
This is the best part about this. It's philosophically, what do they believe in?
Right.
And I think you're going to get a very good idea of that even with the first pick. And that, if you're a Jags fan, that's what I think everybody's really waiting for. Like, what do these guys believe at their core? And then as the weekend progresses, you're really going to see what the philosophy is.
Yeah.
But you know, we saw it in previous iterations of GMs and coaches, and you're kind of like scratching your head. As recently as last year with Mason Smith, like, what in the world are they doing?
Right.
So you're going to get a different idea, a clear idea, I should say, Thursday night, and then Friday night you will be like, okay, now I see what they're doing. Yeah. And I think that's as much as anything, everyone in this city wants that.
Yeah, and they want to find out, what they say in the offseason, are they determined to make sure that they turn a major corner for this franchise? Right. You can say that they need to be more mentally and physically strong, but you got to make the choices and the declarations on that roster that you're going to find draft picks that can replace the guys who aren't getting the job done right now.
Yeah, the draft is the building block of your roster. I mean, it's a template of how you want your team to look, you know, because you got all these guys that are here now. They didn't draft them. They didn't bring them in free agency. No. So, I mean, what they're trying to do is they're trying to create a whole new culture within that locker room. So, I mean, how you build through the draft is kind of the template of what you want your team to look like. If you want them to be tough, mentally and physically tough, then you go after those type of guys that you know are mentally and physically tough in the draft, and you get them in your locker room, you incorporate them, and let them be not contagious, but you want whatever energy they have to spread in the locker room.
Roll.
Yeah, because the locker room, as of the last couple of years, has been dormant, sort of say. I mean, especially last year. So you want to bring some high energy guys on the edge inside your locker room to kind of, you know, kind of clear out what's been in there as of the last couple of years.
Yeah. For sure. All right, you guys at the text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures, 641-1010. Throw some thoughts at us as far as whether you would like to see Jacksonville trade out of that 5 spot, stay there, and lock in on whomever. Any idea, we would love to hear it. We'll throw some of those out on the air. How about that right now, JJ, as we get things rolling?
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
So we told you not that long ago with that the Cincinnati Bengals may be looking to move, and we were mentioning a lot of other places, Kentucky and so on and so forth, that might be checking in on that one. Well, Hamilton County up in Ohio, they have agreed with the Bengals on, at the very least, the terms of a long-term lease to stay where they are. They're going to go in right now, and the city will foot the bill. This is Sports Business Daily putting it out, that the league will foot the bill with the Bengals for $120 million worth of improvements, with Hamilton County picking up about $65 million. That's $185, and this is the first phase of a potential $830 million overhaul of that stadium. Wow. Now, that is more on the NFL side. That's basically a 2-to-1 deal right now. But you could just imagine that's to get the ball rolling, and then a lot of that will come from the County side going forward. But it's interesting because Cincinnati was talking about maybe moving on. All right, now we moved on to the next round of the Searcy Sweet 16 into the Elite Eight. We've already punched a couple of tickets into the Final Four. Big Searce, what is our matchup today?
The matchup today is 2019 LSU against 2004 USC.
Okay, that's a good one.
Grief.
So we're going Burrow against Leinart,
right
2004. Was it Leinart?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got Leinart against Burrow.
Steve Smith,
Bush
Dwayne
against-
Jarrett.
We got
Chase.
Justin,
All right.
Steve Smith. We got some guys now.
All right.
We got a lot of high
There's some
power.
dudes there.
There's some dudes out there. And it's played in SoFi.
It is a SoFi.
It's at
So,
SoFi.
decided advantage for the Southern Cal Trojans.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, LSU is a 3.5-point favorite.
Okay, so more than a field goal pick. That prolific offense against that USC Trojan offense. All right, we got it set up. The Searcy 16 into the Elite Eight with a shot at the Final Four with 2004, the Trojans against the 2019 LSU Tigers. We will set that up along with Draft Talk right here on XL Primetime coming up.
She's never taken no for an answer.
You can't cook, you can't dance.
And that's why she's on Helmets and Heels.
You're a woman, right?
Mia O'Brien.
That makes me rather dangerous.
Noon to 2 weekdays on 1010XL.
I'm Chris Campione. Auto accidents can leave you feeling lost and overwhelmed. But at Campione Law, we're here to guide you with a personal touch through every step of the process. We don't get paid unless you get paid. CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campion, Campion Law.
Enjoy a great day of golf and support Eagles View Academy Athletics. Friday, May 2nd at the newly renovated Bent Creek Golf Course. 8:30 shotgun start, best ball format. Find out more at EVAWarriorsathletics.com.
1010XL's draft previews are brought to you by Big Brothers Big Sisters of Northeast Florida. Be a big.
Travis Hunter is an exciting two-way player whose world-class athleticism and ball skills help him shine on both sides of the field. Hunter is an instinctive, natural football player with a feel for making the biggest plays at the biggest time. Jacksonville would need to make a decision on where and how to play Hunter if they drafted him with the 5th pick, but he's capable of making a good number of winning plays as a future star, no matter the choice.
At the First Coast YMCA, you'll find much more than just a gym. We offer many ways to help you become more active, reach your weight loss goals, and find your inner strength. Membership at the Y includes state-of-the-art facilities, a huge variety of fitness classes, and programs for all ages. It's easy to join the Y since it's affordable for all incomes. The Y is a great place to make connections and experience something new. Visit the YMCA near you or online at fcymca.org.
Jumbo Shrimp Baseball is home this week at the newly renovated VyStar Ballpark. The Jumbo Shrimp take on the AAA Atlanta Braves. Tomorrow is our first Wear It Home Wednesday. Free t-shirts to the first 500 fans. Courtesy of Renewal by Anderson and Better Health. Baseball all weekend. Tickets start at just $5. JackShrimp.com for tickets. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball. Affordable family fun.
The judge swings the gavel and I pound the hammer. I'm not judging, just hammering. Hammer Time with Hayes Carlyon, weekdays on The Frangie Show.
Hammer Time with Hayes, driven by Southside Kia on 1010XL.
St. Johns County parents, does your kid have energy to burn? Want them to play a sport for their middle school? Sign up today for the St. John's Middle School Athletic Association. Tackle football, dance, and cheerleading. Who doesn't want their kid to be the next NFL quarterback or dance floor diva? You know how fast your kid can go from playing Xbox to practicing their touchdown dance or sideline cheer? Visit sjmsaa.org. sjmsaa.org.
Prosser here. It's a great time to sell your home, and I got just the people to sell it for you. Spring selling season is here. Rates are down, activity's up. Now's the best time in years to sell your home. Some homes are sitting on the market, though. Hiring an expert who can maximize your equity and minimize your hassle, that's the key. And I've been telling you who those experts are. Are you listening? I recommend Chad and Sandy Newman. Go to chadandsandy.com, the local real estate experts you can trust with the sale of your home. No required costly repairs. Pick your move date. There are no long-term contracts, and you can cancel at any time. So whatever problems you think you have, I've got you this promise. Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. There you go. Simple as that. Christopher on Anastasia Island. My home was too big for my needs. I wanted someplace smaller and easier to manage. I got multiple offers and sold in 3 days with Chad and Sandy. You can too at chadandsandy.com or 904-414-6200.
The Sawgrass Marriott Golf Resort and Spa is the perfect place for indulging in a pampering spa treatment. This Mother's Day season, give the gift of wellness with a gift card and take advantage of the spa's current promotion. Buy a $75 gift card or more and guests get a credit towards a future service. With healing massages, revitalizing facial treatments, and more, a day at the Sawgrass Spa makes a perfect gift for everyone. Purchase in person at Sawgrass Spa during operating hours.
At Performance Painting, we've spent decades protecting commercial properties with durable, long-lasting coatings. And we can bring the same expertise when painting the exterior of your home. With industry-leading materials and a proven process, we extend the life of your home, reducing maintenance costs and preserving its value. Now, for a limited time, save $500 when you hire us to paint your home's exterior. Just mention 1010XL. Go to performancepainting.com to schedule a friendly estimate. Performance Painting. Repair, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting.
Guys, your lawn's the home field. Now you can champion your St. Augustine grass. TopDressing.com just hit Jacksonville with a game-changing patented process. Aerate and transform your turf into a fairway-worthy masterpiece. Less water, shorter cuts, and the envy of every neighbor. No one else delivers a perfect 10 lawn like this. Visit TopDressing.com and dominate your block with the same process that golf courses use. Top dress your lawn like the pros with TopDressing.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Leonard rolls, throws deep, got a man, touchdown! What a great catch! Dominic Byrd flies high and pulls it in. Second down, short 9. Leonard has time, lofts it to Smith. He caught it, touchdown! What a catch! Burrow dodges the rush, going for Jefferson again. It's another touchdown. Burrow deep again, on target again. Jefferson again, touchdown again.
This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
You know the level of play based on Sean McDonough's squeak level. Okay? If he squeals and squeaks on a highlight, that means one hell of a play just took place. And it did when you talk about that 2019 bunch of Baton Rouge Bengals. Man, were they good. Record-setting, but they're going up against another really good offense in the 2004.
Formidable opponent now.
Southern Cal Trojans.
Been a lot of fireworks. I'm anticipating a lot of fireworks.
So this is a shot at the Final Four.
This is it, shot at the Final Four.
All right, set it up for us, sir.
All right, here we go. We got the LSU Baton Rouge Tigers. Go Tigers. Yeah, those wrong. That's my guy. 15-0. SEC and national champions. They play at Tiger Stadium at Death Valley. Head coach Eddie Ogeron. They run a pro spread offense and a 3-4 defense. The team is led by Heisman Trophy winner Joe Cool Burrow. 76% of his passes, over 5,000 yards and 60 touchdowns. Jamar Chase, over 1,700 yards receiving, 20 touchdowns, and Justin Jefferson, over 1,500 yards receiving, 18 touchdowns. This LSU team had 5 first-round picks in 2020 and 14 overall. They scored a record high 726 points as an offense.
Yeah.
This is crazy to me. They're halfway to the championship. They beat number 9 Texas, 45-38. They beat number 7 Florida. They beat number 9 Auburn. That was a close one, 23-20. They beat number 3 Alabama, 46-41. They beat number 4 Georgia in the SEC championship, 37-10. In the semis, they beat number 4 Oklahoma, 63-28. In the national championship game, they beat Clemson, 42-25.
Wow.
That's
great.
That's a football team.
That's a football team right there.
Did any of you guys see the newest Ed Orgeron video that came out today?
No.
Of him speaking Cajun French.
C'est tout bon. Ouais. T'as une maison là-bas? Un condo. Bon,
turno Maison ici. Oh, U Club.
Oh, okay.
U Club.
Okay.
True.
True that. A man of many talents.
That's not French Cajun. I don't know what that is.
That is a man of many talents right there, Eddie-O.
And that was coherent, believe it or not. Okay.
The other guy that's talking to him seems to know what he's saying.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I saw a Jeopardy
That
question.
sounds eerily similar to the other.
I know, but those
I'm glad you didn't have that Rafa Salafus who never got past number 1.
That was in English.
Yeah, that was English.
I understand the French when I do the English.
Was it, JJ?
You're right. I'm not sure.
Listen, Eddie O's the man. Cortez Kennedy, you coming off the ball like a bowling ball and butcher knives. I love it.
And he outkicked his coverage with his wife, too.
Nothing wrong with outkicking that. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
All right, set us up. 2004
USC. All right. They won the 11-0. They were national champions. They were wire to wire. They came into the preseason number 1 and finished the season ranked number 1. They played at Los Angeles Memorial Stadium. Pete Carroll's their head coach. Offensive coordinator is Norm Chow. They run a pro-style offense, 4-3 defense. They're led by 2 outstanding players, Heisman Trophy winner Matt Leinart and the electrifying Reggie Bush. There's no need to go into violations. We already know about that deal of violations.
The original NIL team.
Yeah, the original NIL team. All right. So Matt Leinart completed 65% of his passes for over 3,300 yards, 32 touchdowns, only 6 picks. Reggie Bush ran for over 908 yards and 6 touchdowns. And he received over 43 times, 509 yards with 70. He had 13 touchdowns that season. They're pathway to the championship. They beat Virginia Tech 24-13. They beat Stanford 31-28. They beat Cal, number 7 Cal 23-17. They beat number 18 Arizona 45-7. They beat Washington 38-0. Notre Dame 41-10. And these are the 2 games that were actually vacated by the NCAA in 2010. They beat UCLA 29-24, and then they beat Oklahoma in the national championship game 55-19.
Yeah, they smoked them. And that was a team that also should probably not have been playing in that championship game, the BCS game, but they were, and they were the worst for it when it was all said and done.
Mm-hmm.
So that was, honestly, that 2014, Matt, you go back and think about it, is we already did the 2005 against the Texas Longhorns, but 04 stacked.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was the team that came off winning the 03. Now they won the AP National Championship in 03. So that's it wasn't just Leinart and Bush and White and Steve Smith and Dwayne Jarrett. Man, we can go all day on the offense. Defensively, they were terrific.
Yeah.
They had about 6 or 7 NFL guys in that defense too. So yeah, I mean that was when Pete had it going.
Was Coach O on that staff?
He was.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's coaching against himself.
So was Kiffin. So was Sarkisian. So was Norm Chow. Yeah, they had a phenomenal staff.
And just figure Sark and Kiffin were under Chow, just learning as they were coming up.
Mm-hmm. They weren't. They were like Sark was the QB's coach.
Yeah.
They started out that way, and Kiffin was an offensive assistant. Then they became co-offensive coordinators.
Yeah. So, but they
were like low guys originally. Yeah.
Norm was going to be who I worked with over in Europe if I'd decided to go.
Chow?
Yeah, I know Norm very well.
Yeah, Norm's
good
a good
man.
dude.
Good man.
Bright offensive mind, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
He's you want to talk about a good dude?
Yeah.
Like a good dude.
Yeah,
salt
absolutely.
of the earth.
His brother was one of the biggest boosters at Boise State when I was there. That's why I knew Norm a little bit more than some others. You know,
That's so cool. 3.5 point line. That was the betting line from Vegas.
3.5 point line. Yeah.
We're into the first quarter.
Yeah, we're in the first quarter.
Wait, who's favored by 3.5?
LSU.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know who's doing your lines, but they're a little odd. There's no doubt about it.
Well, that's the most prolific offense in the history of college football. That does actually make sense. That's why 3.5 point line. Did you think it should be higher?
No,
I'd have
made it a pick 'em. Yeah, I'd have made it a pick, definitely.
I figured those Baton.
All right, I
Baton
smell an
Rouge
upset. That's
Bengal
all I'm
fans?
saying. Okay,
Yeah.
I smell an upset here.
Yeah.
I mean, that USC team is right up there.
Oh, yeah.
In my
Yeah,
memory, as one of the best, most stacked teams of all time.
I think
just
Vegas
because of that rain, too. Like Matt said, it wasn't just that year. It was like that 3 or 4 year
Yeah, in 05, they could have won it too, but they ran into like the greatest individual performance ever in a championship.
I just think Vegas is baiting them with that.
I do too.
Get in on that money.
I'm telling you, I feel upset coming, baby.
Yeah, and it's in Inglewood too.
At SoFi. All right, so we got that. we will give you the first quarter score coming up here in a second. You guys let us know. You can go to X at 1010XL on X, and you can see how the bracket is looking. Tell us who you think would win this game. Throw a comment our way. We would appreciate it. All right, so I decided we would set up Trader Tuesday with our mock draft simulator. And this is Leon's been a trader in these mocks really right from the jump. You'll accept a trade in a heartbeat. But I tried to accept a few trades, gain a little draft capital, but then also try and use it again to get back in. So how active was your draft when you put this all
I started at 5, I traded back to 7, and I traded back from 7 to 12.
Okay, so you did a double dip in the first round. What did you get?
I got 2 seconds.
Okay, all right. So I went from 5 to 10, and when I did it with Chicago, expecting Chicago to want to take Ashton Genty. They did not. They took one of the big linemen, Armand Membu, but I got a pick 10 and pick 39 and got a third rounder for next year from the Chicago Bears to move back. And then traded in the second round, traded out of that 36 spot, gave up a 7th rounder late, got a pick 50 and Seattle's second for next year. So I was trying to get high draft quality picks in this draft and next year's draft, right? Just to kind of make sure if this team's going to go anywhere, they need that. They need high picks next year too.
I was looking at this draft. I was trading back and looking at this
draft. As long as you say. So what did you do?
So what I did is I traded back a couple times early. I traded back, I believe, 4 times total.
Okay,
a couple times early, and by trading back a couple times early, I got picks 18, 39, 50, and 56. So 4 picks in the first 56.
All right, so hang on, 18, 39.
What do you think of that former NFL coach? 4 picks in the first 56.
Yeah, well, I said to Joe back on the podcast that if you've got 4 or 5 picks in the top 50, you should be hitting them all.
I got 4 pretty good picks too.
Yeah,
you're gonna like my picks.
Yeah,
and so what's your total number of picks?
My total number of picks is 13.
Okay,
and a third rounder and 26 from Seattle.
So I
also have, by the way, 8 picks in the first 95.
Yeah.
Okay, but how in the world did you have 13 by trading to get that high in the draft? Because I
never traded up. I traded back every time.
Okay, all right. So you gave value, but then you still kept. Because I ended up with 9 picks, but I only had.
You want to know how I did it, Joe?
Yeah.
Because I'm a good GM.
Well, in your mind,
at the end of the day, I'm a good GM.
Yeah, your problem was that you took too many picks next year. You didn't take any picks next
and
year.
You want to know why I think I did a good job?
This isn't brain surgery, man. It's not. It just isn't.
Well, again,
I knew one guy who used to claim he was a good GM as well.
Yeah. He's like,
nobody would trade with
us. I couldn't get anybody to trade.
Oh, yeah.
Why do you think Matt's a journalist instead of a GM? It's because he thinks he's a great GM.
Well, wait till you hear my draft. You might sound a little differently.
All right, so and so it's funny because I ended up with just 1 less this year, but I did get that draft capital for next year. And then I feel like, heck, when I had 4 of the top 70, I was pretty happy about it. But that one sounds like you had 4 in the top 50.
I traded back twice, first from 5 to 8, then from 8 to 18.
Yeah, because I was trying to jump back in. All right, so we'll give these picks in just a second and kind of give you an idea of where it might go, could go, would go. There's still good picks out there, even if you do back up from that number 5 spot. So we'll do that coming up here in just a second. First quarter score, Big Search.
All right, first quarter score is LSU 17, USC 10.
See, they just explode.
I mean, it's ridiculous with these games, right?
This is a track and field tournament.
Okay? Are they playing 7-on-7? What are they doing?
I got to get the people what they want. This is going to be a high-scoring game. Just go buckle up and get ready.
Okay, I had the over-under, honestly. Over-under.
Well, let me see what the over-under was. I have the over-under was 60.5.
Okay, but
60.5. You're almost halfway there.
Second half. For second quarter.
29 in the first half. And you already have it at 27 in the first quarter?
Did you not see what this? Oh, this is going to be a good
I had Kayvon Chase on as the MVP is what I had.
Oh, yeah.
Stop it.
That ain't going to happen. Not on the defensive side, Mr. GM. It's XL Primetime.
Living in Duval. Loving Duval.
Duval, man.
1010XL, Jacksonville Sports Radio.
I'm just going
going to cut to the chase. What you really want to know is why buy from Arlington Toyota? Mia here. How about over 800 vehicles, one lot, 60-day exchange, and friendly credit for everyone. Plus, right now, you choose a pre-owned 2022 Camry, RAV4, or Tacoma for $0 and only $388 per month. Or how about no payments till August 2025? Shop in person on Atlantic Boulevard, just a quarter-mile east of 295, or online anytime at arlingtontoyota.com.
At Cannons of Jacksonville, they know that when you're towing anything, you gotta have products you can rely on. With over 50 years of fabrication expertise, the family at Cannons can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Whether it's a heavy-duty hitch, trailer frame, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons will provide you with unmatched precision and durability. For all your towing needs, visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
So, you finally have some time to yourself. Even if it is just the car ride home, it's you time. And look at you. Do not disturb set before you even got in the car? Impressive. You've earned this moment to just chill and drive. This break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
Make the most of every lawn with Kubota commercial landscaping equipment. From the productivity-boosting Z700 mower to the reliable SVL track loader, it's a lineup built to get the job done right. Because when your reputation is on the line, you need equipment that will never let you down. Visit Coastal Equipment in Jacksonville or McClenny.
Greater power for the great outdoors. Coastal Equipment.
Coastal Equipment on New Kings Road and in McClenny.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. There was a time when if you handed me a bread basket at a restaurant, you better watch your fingers. Pizza, pasta, bread, carbs were absolutely my weakness. I'd be lying if I said they didn't have me hooked. And Awaken 180 came into life. I've been down every diet road there is, but this one's different. It's not just another diet. It's a total reset of how you see food. You know that carb craving we've all accepted as normal? That's gone now. Don't get me wrong. I still enjoy that good stuff, but here's the difference. I no longer feel like I need them. So when the server puts down that basket on the table, I just smile, sit back, and say, I'm good, man. That feeling of control, everyone, is all thanks to Awaken 180. I lost 4 pounds in 9 weeks on Awaken 180. Packer lost more than 110. Blue's on his way. You can lose weight, too. It doesn't matter what your goal weight is. Awaken 180 weight loss will get you there quickly and safely. A clear path to success without disappointment. Awaken 180 has changed my life, and it'll change yours, too. Give them a call, 844-346-1800, or online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Florida heat is no joke. Is your air conditioner ready for it? At Duck Duck Air Conditioning, we've got a crazy offer just for you. We're giving away free AC inspections to our wonderful customers who now call and schedule. One of our expert techs will come look at your AC unit and make recommendations to ensure it's running at peak performance. But you must act today. A deal this good won't last forever. Call 904-862-6769. Duck Duck Air Conditioning. DuckDuckAC.com. Any required repairs are not included in the inspection.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On April 22nd, 1981, Baseball Hall of Fame Los Angeles Dodgers rookie pitcher Fernando Valenzuela tosses his third shutout in 4 starts.
Living on Amelia Island, having fun in Fernandina Beach? No matter what brings you to the fun, cozy town, make sure you check out the tap room at Mocama Beer Company. With a full flight of craft creations, from the Cosmico IPA to the Motor, the perfect pilsners and lagers, matching memories and some Mocama magic is what it's all about. Mocama Beer Company in Fernandina Beach, near the big water where the sun is born. And look for more Mocama craft at your local Total Wine or ABC Liquors.
What are the only 2 states that do not observe daylight saving time? The answer next.
Having the right homeowner's policy protection means you're staying on top of your most valuable possession, your home. For information on finding an agent, go to southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
The only 2 states that currently do not observe daylight saving time are Arizona and Hawaii.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Out here, you'll find a community of hardworking creators with loyal followers, along with proud moments worth sharing. And farm to table, well, that's just supper. And whether it's a raised garden bed acres of land, or something for your animals, we've got all the supplies and are happy to share a little know-how.
Welcome to Tractor Supply. Into life out here.
Tired of seeing the signs of aging? Spring is here, a time to renew. I'm Dr. Mark Capel, a board-certified dermatologist, here to help you look and feel your best with minimal to no downtime. Rejuvenate your skin, strengthen your core, and sculpt your body with advanced face and body treatments designed to restore your youthful glow and confidence. Just in time for spring and summer. A healthier, more fit you starts now. Visit Dermagnify.com and step into spring looking and feeling your best.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
See how much this has impacted the momentum of the ball game. This is Reggie Bush, and Bush is gone. Forget it. No flags. Touchdown. 81 yards.
This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
Great call. Forget it. Yeah, big-time power from the USC Trojan offense, the LSU Bengal Tiger offense. But 3.5, most people think Vegas could get shook if you took the favorites. We'll find out whether or not it goes down. But right now, we had a 17-10 first quarter score, Leon.
First quarter.
We were into the second quarter, steaming towards the half, right?
By the way, Leon, did the good Lord allow Keith Jackson to come down and do that game?
Of course.
Okay.
So awesome.
Yeah, bro.
So awesome. Forget it. Just the best.
Yes.
He was one of the great voices that if you ever, like whenever you leave this earth, you heard some great baseball voices, football voices, basketball voices, just so many great ones in the time that we've been treated to so many great teams that we've been watching from the 80s on, basically.
Mm-hmm.
This is how our Searcy Sweet 16 started with playing games from the 80s and the 90s into the 21st century. All right, we got to get to our draft, and then you're going to give halftime score coming up here in just a second?
Yeah.
All right. So, Coach, you get to jump in on any of these because you were a mock draft simulating fool last week. I told him, I said, Coach, if we start working trades into this equation, I don't know whether he'd be into it or not.
I didn't do it.
He just wanted to come down the board. All right, so I went with Jalen Walker. I jumped out of 5, moved back to 10 with the Chicago Bears, took Jalen Walker, who is regarded as one of the top prospects, so I had no problem with that. Then I got a big offensive guard out of Arizona with the 47th pick overall, Jonas Avenea. And when you're talking about some of those Samoans, that is a big, rugged son of a gun inside. Then I went with Tyleik Williams, defensive tackle out of Ohio State, pick 55. So I got 3 in the top 55, and then I went Jack Beck, wide receiver out of TCU, with my 70th pick overall. So those are the first 4.
First 4?
Yeah.
All right, so I moved back from 5 to 7, back from 7 to 12, and I got the stud out of Marshall, Mike Green.
Okay.
6'4", 250, 4'4". I mean, I saw him at the Senior Bowl. He was wrecking shop, so I had to get him right there. Yeah. At number 36, I went and got Luther Burden the third, the wide receiver out of Missouri. Yeah. Had a down year last year. A year before, he had, 1,100 yards and maybe, 10 touchdowns, Matt?
I just consider him
not this year, but the year before.
Yeah, before. Yeah. Better years as a sophomore than
better years as a sophomore. Yeah. So I got him at 36. So the 2 picks I picked up, the 2 picks of the second round I picked up was Kenneth Grant. I got Kenneth Grant in Michigan.
Nice. What
at 42.
Number?
At 42.
Okay.
And then I got Donovan Jackson, the offensive guard at Ohio State, at 44.
There's nothing
now,
wrong
at
with
70, I kind of had to pull Matt Hayes' card with Harold Fanning Jr.
I like him a lot.
The tight end out of Bowling Green.
Like him a lot.
120. He had 117 catches last year.
Yeah, and over 1,000 yards.
Yes, over 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
So he's that guy you were talking, the flex.
Yeah.
He's only 230.
He's Evan Ingram, basically.
Yeah, he's Evan Ingram. So I went and got him at 70.
Mm-hmm. I like it. All right.
So I told you how I got back and how I got those picks. So at 18, I picked up Kelvin Banks, the tackle from Texas, who can play guard.
Yeah, and he's a big human being with a lot of starts.
Man. Yes.
A lot of starts.
Yes. Then I came back in 39, and Kenneth Grant was still available.
Mm-hmm.
And I picked Kenneth Grant. Then I moved to 50, and I picked Wyatt Milam, the guard from West Virginia.
Okay.
Just a a mauler. He's like this year's Cooper Beebe, by the way.
All right, so now you got 3
So I got my
picks.
2 guards in the first 3.
Yeah.
Okay, and Kenneth Grant at D tackle, and then my last pick in the first 4 is Alec Ayamanor, the wide receiver from Stanford. We all talked about the big guy that can run.
Yeah.
So that's
I'm
my
always
first
impressed
4.
with the way Matt's able to say some of these Hawaiian names.
He is a guy that
I don't know if they're right, but he makes it sound like
he
he's
does.
right.
What's right?
Yeah. Oh, it's right.
It's right.
Yeah. You don't.
The only one I don't know is Yamaleva, because I still don't know if it's Yamaleva or how do you say it? Yamaleva?
It's
Yamaleva.
It's not Yamaleva.
It's
not.
Yamaleva.
There's a va. There's a va. There's an ah in there somewhere. There is.
Yamaleva.
If you hear him say it, there's an ah somewhere in there.
Luckily, we'll never have to hear from him again.
Right.
He's now at UCLA, and no one will care. Okay? So let's get ready to pronounce the other cat's name that's on Rocky Top. All right, the next handful of picks. I ended up with a total of 9. So after I went Jack Beck with the 70th pick overall, I went Terrence Ferguson, another good tight end. I think that could be a dynamic player here. Dorian Strong, the cornerback from Virginia Tech, got him just outside the top 100. And he's a big physical guy that can close fast, so I do like him. Malachi Moore, next pick, safety out of Alabama with a ton of starts, 126. Then I went with a couple of linemen, Jalen Travis out of Iowa State, 142nd. And then I wrapped it up 170th, offensive center, Jonah Monham from USC, who I like a lot too. So,
Okay. All right. Well, at 104, I got he's going to be a folk hero if we picked him in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Cameron Scatterboom.
Oh, yeah. That's my guy.
He'll be a folk hero. If he comes here, they're going to love him, absolutely. I picked him up at 107.
As one guy texted the other day, they will rename it Scatterboo.
Yes, absolutely.
I love and hate him at the same time.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yes. At 126, I got the offensive tackle out of North Carolina State, Anthony Belton. At 182, I just love this guy's name. Had to pick him out of South Carolina defensive tackle, Tonka.
You did get Tonka.
I had to get Tonka.
You take him every time?
I take Tonka,
I'm all
yes.
about that guy,
I'm all
too.
about the Tonka. Tonka Hemingway at 182. And at 194, I took the offensive guard out of Jacksonville State, Clay Webb.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. All right.
All right, when we do my next 4, the rest of the draft.
You might as well finish it out.
All right. Okay.
You got 13. How many? 34 picks?
13. So my next 4 are still in the first 100, though. They're
That's
to
pretty
95.
good.
So another 8 in the first 95.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So the next 4, these are, I mean, you're at the point now where it's need. You are now filling need.
Sure.
All right, 76, I got Darian Porter, the corner from Iowa State, who's a really good player. At 72, I got Kevin Winston Jr., the safety from Penn State, who started a lot of games. At 88, I got Kyle Kennard, the edge from South Carolina, via Georgia Tech. At 96, I've got Alfred Collins, the defensive tackle from Texas.
Big guy.
Yeah.
Do you notice a trend here, Coach?
Yeah, they're all big and
dudes.
physical.
Right. Right. At 126, JoJo, I got Quinn Ewers, quarterback, Texas.
Okay, so that is in the 4th round you're talking? Okay. All right.
I'm going to lose that lunch bet to you. I don't think there's any question now.
Yeah, I know. He's a little further down the draft board than you might have expected.
At 142, I got Anthony Belton, the tackle from NC State, just a large,
That's another.
large
So
man.
you guys doubled up on him. All right.
Yes. At 182, I got Joshua Gray, a guard from Oregon State.
Uh-huh.
Again, do you notice the trend here, Dave?
Yeah, big and physical.
Line. O-line. At 194, Jared Ivey, the edge from Ole Miss, another trend. Get the quarterback. And then at 221, I got Mitchell Evans, the tight end from Notre Dame.
Okay. Yeah, I like him too. He's a guy that would be projected around 4th, 5th round, something in that neighborhood. And then we'll see if he's still around as far as, how far down the board he would go. Those are all good picks. We don't know exactly what they're going to do. We're going to find out if Gladstone's going to get a reputation as a guy that is willing to be aggressive in the draft, if he's willing to be smart and move back and do a few things. Coach had on the podcast, and hopefully you guys will find the podcast on our Jaguars YouTube channel. Just go to 1010XL on YouTube, and you'll find the Jaguars channel. But you gave basically a handful of 5. Does that sound right, Coach? 4 or 5 that if Jacksonville traded out of that 5th spot.
Well, what I did was I just looked at, in my thoughts of what they would be looking at if they moved. So I went from 11 to 6. You move back from 5. We know all the suspects at 5. And move back to 11 to 16. You're looking at guys like Will Johnson, the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Good chance he'll be there.
A little worried about his medical. I'm a little worried about that.
Absolutely.
Legit.
And, the two guys I really like are Banks, that I think
Kelvin
he'll be in
Banks,
that spot.
Can play guard. No doubt he can play guard.
And I think Simmons, who again is an injury factor, but I like him the best as far as ability is concerned.
Josh Simmons.
But also a guard/tackle.
Right. And then I had Golden, because I actually like Golden. Watching him, I like Golden better than McMillan, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Matthew Golden.
I just like his speed, and he's flashy.
Yeah.
And then I had Loveland.
Not the biggest guy, Golden.
No. And I had Loveland, the tight end.
Yeah.
So those are guys that I had. If you move back into the 11, now some of those guys might be before that. I don't know.
You think Golden's going to go in the first round, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Igbuka's the guy that everyone's starting to love a little bit more.
Yeah,
he may
now
sneak into the first round.
Yeah, I had Igbuka between 26 and 32.
Okay.
In 26 to 32, I had Zabel, Stewart, the defensive end from
Shamar,
Texas A&M. I had Jackson, the guard. I had Grant in that area. Igbuka and Schlesinger.
Okay.
If you're looking for a linebacker, he's going to be there. He's going to be around that area, in my opinion.
I should have taken a linebacker because I remember what you're saying. What about special? But there's nothing there that was intriguing.
With me going with Jalen Walker and playing off the ball, and he can walk up to the line of scrimmage and rush the passer, then I hit that linebacker note there. But there weren't any other ones that were jumping out.
My whole thing with the draft, and I think the guy that did the best job, just specifically with picks, is Matt. Because once you get to we had good drafts.
Right.
Okay, back with the Cowboys. Once you get the fifth round pick, it's a crapshoot.
Right. Yeah.
And we didn't even do that well. We hit some guys in there, like Leon Lett in the 7th, Kenny Gant in the 9th, Brown in the 12th.
Right.
But it's hit and miss. But all of our good picks were the first 4 rounds. Yeah. So as many guys as you can get in those picks, the best chance.
Yeah, in the first 100, if you can get a lot of picks in the first 100, that's.
And look,
you have a good chance to at least get 4, maybe 5 guys that are going to play immediately.
And just depending on how many you do select, if you get it right, you don't necessarily want big contracts that you have to worry about. If you have a good draft class and they're all there ready to re-up later, that's a good problem.
I don't think you can go into a draft thinking, well, if we've got 8 in the first 80, what are we going to do in 4 years? I don't think you can do that.
Yeah, don't ever worry about that.
Yeah, you got to play for now.
Because just as an example, Andre Sisco was going to be another one that was going to get a big contract here, along with Tyson, along with Walker, all these guys.
Some do and some don't.
Yeah. And they don't all come through. That's for sure.
Yeah.
All right, Coach, good stuff. You always come through. You know that?
Yeah. Hey, I don't know about that, but I appreciate it. Thank you.
We enjoy hanging out with you. We'll have Coach back on Friday, ready to rock and roll, and you will be reacting to the draft.
Yep.
You're also going to be we should say this right now real quick, be part of the broadcast on YouTube Thursday night, he and Hacker.
Hacker and I are the analysts for the group.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
Nice.
Off the internet. And then I'll be with Hacker. Then I'll be with Hacker on Friday night for the entire.
How many hours are we talking? Is this going to be like
This is his Christmas.
I was going to say.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I don't know what the heck I'm doing, but I love every second of it.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. All right, we're going to go back in time a little bit as well. Top of the 3 o'clock hour, Ed McCaffrey. We'll talk to him about the NFL draft, his playing days, so on and so forth. But first, JJ, let's hook him up with something good.
Yes, I have a giveaway for this weekend. The boat show is here. So I have a family 4-pack of tickets to the spring boat show at Medart Park. That is April 25th to the 27th. So be caller number 4 right now at 641-1010, and I'll hook you up.
Your radio highlight reel.
Caught for the touchdown.
1010XL, home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Cannonball!
Honey, someone's in our pool.
Oh, refreshing.
John, what are you doing?
Oh, hey, Dave. Seeing as how me and the guys at Clearwater Irrigation reinstalled your sprinklers after the pool contractor ripped it out, I thought you wouldn't mind if I took a quick dip.
But in a Jaguar print Speedo?
Yeah, Dave. My bad. Clearwater Irrigation. We can't sing a lick, but we sure are good at sprinklers.
And drainage, too.
This is Mark Nato. My son Justin injured his hand playing baseball for JU. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists performed surgery just a few days later, and within 5 weeks, he was cleared to play in the ASUN baseball tournament. Our family has trusted Southeast Orthopedic Specialists for years. For any orthopedic injury, let Southeast Orthopedic Specialists take care of you too.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Yo, this is Tony from Tony D's. Are you looking for a great slice of pizza? Well, we have about 12 varieties. Most places won't have slices of pizza after lunch. At Tony D's, you can get a slice all day. It's always fresh at Tony D's Pizza. Bay Meadows and 295.
Get to know positions and players. The 1010XL Ultimate Draft Guide is brought to you by Blue Haven Pools, the #1 pool builder in Jacksonville. Follow rankings and roundtables as the draft takes shape. Go to 1010XL.com/2025 draft guide to get yours.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. WM is the largest sustainability company in North America. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Your services will be completed in a timely, safe, and eco-friendly manner. Go to WM.com/Duval. That's WM.com/Duval and get signed up today. If anyone can talk trash, it's The Mangler.
Your home is more than walls and a roof. It's where you breathe, drink, and power through life. At Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to keep it all running smoothly. From clean, cool air to clean water, reliable power to expert plumbing, we do it all. For over 35 years, families have trusted Donovan to make their homes healthier, safer, and more comfortable. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing today, 904-270-COOL, where health meets home.
It's here. Beard's Diamonds' first ever massive sale on all diamond stud earrings and all tennis bracelets. Now through Sunday at 4 p.m. Save 20%, 30%, even 40%. Beautiful diamond stud earrings and gorgeous diamond tennis bracelets. Perfect for any occasion. Take advantage of huge markdowns. Best prices ever. Corporate-owned big box stores could never offer this extreme value, but locally owned Beards can. And it's happening now through Sunday. Up to 40% off. Beards Diamonds, St. John's Town Center. Shop local. Shop Beards.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Want to grow your hair back?
IHRS right here in Jacksonville is the only hair transplant clinic in the country that offers multi-unit hair grafting, FUE neograft hair transplants, and the 45-minute effective PRP treatments.
Multi-unit hair grafting gave me more hair in one procedure and within my budget.
Thank you, IHRS.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Schedule a free evaluation and find out how to grow your hair back and keep the hair you have. Call 904-777-IHRS. Take the first step to restoring your hair today. Visit hairforme.com.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
IHRS has been restoring hair for men and women for over 30 years.
Call now for a free in-person or virtual evaluation. 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Or visit hair4me.com.
Friendly competition meets great futures. It's the Birdies and Bounces Tournament presented by the Mackenzie Noel Wilson Foundation, Friday, May 9th at the Yards. Where else can a pickleball tournament, 15 holes of golf, food, fun, beverages, raffles, and great activities help a worthy organization like the Boys and Girls Clubs of Northeast Florida, where 59 clubs serve nearly 6,000 youth daily. For tickets and team registration, email Charlie C. at bgcnf.org.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. You've heard us talk about it. Window World, the #1 window replacement company in the USA, selling over 1 million windows each year for the past 8 years.
That's a lot of satisfied customers and why J.D. Powers has awarded Window World Best in Customer Satisfaction 3 out of 4 years.
Window World stands behind their slogan, simply the best for less. With Window World, you get top quality windows at a price that leaves more of your money in your bank account, and you get the absolute best guarantee there is in the window replacement industry. When compared to our competition, there is none. See for yourself. Call the competition. Get quotes from them. But before you buy, get Window World's free estimate and compare the quality of the windows and the price.
You'll see.
And when your new Window World windows are installed and they're saving you money on your energy bills, if anything goes wrong with those windows, Window World and I will be there to make it right. That's my guarantee.
Call Window World today. Start saving money on your new windows and your energy bills and take vacation with your savings. Window World, online at windowworldneflorida.com. windoworld.com.
Window World, simply the best for less. Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors and siding.
Summer in Jacksonville is coming in hot. Lauren Brooks here. Beat the heat with Turbo Tint. Their window tint blocks up to 99% of harmful UV rays and keeps your ride cool and comfortable. Book today at orangepark.turbotint.com.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, brought to you by the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. Lauren Brooks and Mia O'Brien of the Helmets and Heels show got to sit down with Jaguars' second-year cornerback, Jarian Jones. With the new staff and secondary acquisitions of a guy like Jordan Lewis, talks of Jones moving around heated up. When they asked him about his conversations with the new staff, where he'll be playing, Jones voiced his agreement because of his versatility.
So I brought it up. I was like, Coach, look, I can play safety, I can play corner, I can play nickel. I feel like I can play all of them. And I put it all on tape, like whether it be college or whatever it may be, I put it all on tape. And so when I got to telling him, he was just like, we're thinking kind of the same thing. Like, we feel like, you know what I'm saying, your versatility, we want to be able to use it. You know what I'm saying? So you can be able to play in, outside, or like, so we want to get you more outside than you've been playing. I was like, yeah, that's definitely what I want to do.
It's 84 degrees at 2:58. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
Having a good time on a beautiful Tuesday, 2 days away from the draft. Cannot wait for all that's going to go on with the Jaguars and ultimately wherever they end up drafting in the first night. We have got some Super Bowl and draft talk to visit with our guests and a draft analyst coming up in just a bit, but we have got the Searcy Sweet 16 going on right now. As a matter of fact, we're in the round of the Elite Eight with a chance to go into the Final Four. 2004 USC versus 2019 LSU. Where are we at, Leon?
It's a free-for-all, bro. I'm like Vince Lombardi. What the hell's going on out there? Points are being scored.
Wait a second.
Recklessly, points are being scored. LSU 31, USC 30.
Whoa. End of the first half.
In the first half.
You've already gone over the over.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the first half.
31-30 in the first half. USC trailing
by one.
Trailing by a point.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. All right. We're going to keep an eye on it. Find out who's going to make it to the Final Four. This is in honor of March Madness, but we are marching closer and closer to the draft. Let's talk a little NFL with Ed McCaffrey, a star in his own right, and then also basically a star family with all the others that are still playing. Ed, welcome in. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you guys for having me on the show.
Hey, we appreciate it. We're going to talk a little draft, a little NFL with you, but you got to hear this real quick. So Leon Searcy's put together the Searcy Sweet 16 in honor of March Madness, and we basically took teams from the 80s, the 90s, and then into the 21st century, okay? So right now, it's 2004 USC versus 2019 LSU. Can you visualize that? Who do you think would win that bad boy?
I'm taking Duke. I'm taking 19. What year would it have been?
Yeah.
1989 Duke, maybe.
Oh yeah, okay. You're going in the hoop world, and you're saying forget about it. That's a good one. That is a good one. But we turned it into football because we're just football.
We're talking football.
Yeah, we're football nuts down here. You know that.
No, my brother played for Duke. That's why I was thinking basketball. I was thinking Sweet 16. Okay, I got you. I see what you're doing. I see what you're trying to do here. Okay, so give me the two teams again. You got LSU versus who?
Yeah, LSU in 19 with Joey Burrow, and then 2004 with Reggie Bush, Matt Leinart, and company.
Oh man,
yeah,
that is a pretty darn good matchup. I don't know, man. I like to lump players and teams like generationally because the game has changed so much over the years. And the passing game was obviously quite advanced by the time Joe Burrow was with LSU. And he had some pretty good wideouts to throw to, and they were dropping points, man.
Yes.
We threw over 50 touchdowns. But the USC back then, USC had a pretty physical football team. That's back, where it was a little smash mouth. So that would be an interesting matchup. I would like to see those two teams play if we could, but unfortunately that's not going to happen. So I don't know. Both great teams. I don't have a horse in that race.
Before you go, we're going to have to ask you a mythical team that you might have wanted to face when you were done, because you certainly got it done in a Broncos uniform for a long, long time. So let's just talk about the draft just a little bit real quick. What was it like for you? How much bigger has this game gotten, especially when you have sons that were drafted so high? How much has the game changed, and how excited are you to keep watching it all?
Oh, man, it has changed immensely. I mean, back then, I think there was fantasy football, but people were doing it on a pad of paper and looking at the newspaper every day. I hadn't even heard of it until the end of my career. And, I had some of the old hats tell me that I played with, because I was on the oldest team in the league with the New York Football Giants. So the average age was like 33 or something when I came out of college. And some guys locally that had retired or a little older than that would tell me how the players were getting paid so much, meaning me, like you guys are getting paid so much now. And I promised myself I'd never begrudge them. And I figured that over time, players are going to get paid a whole lot more. And man, are they getting paid more now than back when we played? It's actually pretty incredible, but I'm so happy for them. Like, I knew that would happen, and the sport has grown. People, have access to smartphones and streaming, and now we don't just play on Sunday and Monday. It's, Sunday, Monday, Thursday, Saturdays, all, every day of the week practically. We're talking football or have something to talk about. In the fall, we have a game to watch or get ready for. And I think it's incredible. Now with the advent of, like, women's flag football, pretty much everybody can experience and relate to the sport of football, which I think is the greatest sport in the world. In terms of rules, sure, there's a lot of player safety rules that have been implemented. The passing game is advanced. There's a lot of things that have happened from a rule standpoint that have changed the game and encouraged teams to score more points. I know defensive guys are always upset about that, but I think it makes for a more fun game to watch. The college and NFL game is blended together a little bit, more RPOs. We didn't have a lot of RPOs back in the day. Yeah. More up-tempo offenses, obviously more passing. Change the qualifications of the players, right? Running backs now have to catch the ball to the backfield. Linebackers have to be able to cover. So it's changed in so many ways. We could go on forever.
I remember in '96 in that divisional round against y'all, I remember Mark Brunell being in the huddle telling us, hey, bro, we got to go down here and score a touchdown because a field goal and Elway just doesn't match up.
Yeah, that's true. What did he have on his jersey, by the man? He was pretty damn slippery in that game.
He was slippery in that game. Absolutely.
We couldn't tackle him to save our lives.
He could. Now, I'm not sure if he had anything on this jersey, but he told us in the huddle that we cannot go down here and kick a field goal because Elway will come back and destroy us.
He was right, and we did come back and score a touchdown.
You did. It was
little too. Yeah. I caught one at the end of the game, but it was a little too late, man. Tip of the hat to you guys. You went on such a tear. Didn't you guys win 5 straight to end the season, and then you upset us in the playoffs?
Yeah,
at home. That was the worst loss. Congratulations to you. That was the worst loss of my entire career. And
wow.
And I felt like we won the next 2 Super Bowls, but I felt like our team was every bit as good. We just didn't show up, and you guys were balling.
Well, listen, Ed,
you got us on our home field.
Ed, the 2 Super Bowls make up for it because it can't be that bad of a loss.
No, but you know how everyone's talking about, we were talking about Kansas City. Will they be able to three-peat? No team has ever three-peated. Well, with us, it wasn't after Super Bowl 33 trying to repeat after Elway retired. It was we should have won Super Bowl 31. That's the one I feel like we had a great team, but it just goes to show you, man, there's a lot of great teams in the NFL, and if you don't show up, a team like you guys had that was playing really well on both sides of the ball will punch you in the mouth, and you don't show up, you get beat. That's why no one's ever won 3 in a row. But if we did win 3 in a row, it would have had to been that year.
So, Ed, you follow the NFL. You talk about it a lot. This franchise, this quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, now year 5. You've watched him. What are your thoughts on him and his progression? And do you feel like he's at the point where this is now year 5? It's got to be make or break with him.
Yeah, I think by the time you get to year 5, hopefully you position yourself, to have some success over the long term. Your team believes in you, and they've crowned you the guy, and you can do enough to build around that player. Quarterbacks are the most important position on the field because they have to be a coach on the field. They have to know what the defense is doing. They have to know what the offense is doing. Mentally, it's the most difficult position on the field. You have to have a certain skill set that not everyone develops, which is the ability to throw a football. Not everyone's blessed with that gift. But you need players around them, right? I mean, I see a lot of pretty talented quarterbacks that take a lot of sacks, and they're not all their fault. I see a lot of quarterbacks that maybe don't have the skilled guys around them, or they do, but those guys get hurt, and they don't have playmakers around them to make their job a little bit easier. Some coaches don't put players in a position to have success. They ask them to do too much, or hang back there in the pocket for too long, and take unnecessary hits. So, for any quarterback, I'm not even going to single any one quarterback out. For any quarterback, especially one that's in year, say 5, hopefully those things are in place. But if not, just like if you're a younger quarterback, it makes it pretty difficult to win if you don't have playmakers around you. So even though it's the most important position, and you have to hold up your end of the bargain, you definitely need other players out there to make their job a little easier.
Now, Ed, I'm a proponent for a mentorship when it comes to players, because a lot of these players struggle in the NFL because they don't know how to be a pro. They don't know how the mannerism or the hours that it takes to be a professional from 6 to 10 p.m. I mean, I came in the league. I had a guy named Tunch Ilkin who mentored me and taught me how to be a professional. That's the reason why I was able to play in the league 11 years. A lot of these guys are hit and miss because basically they don't have the right mentorship in the locker room to teach them how to be a professional.
You are 100% correct. And I've seen a lot of players, a lot of young players. I was lucky to play in the league a long time as well. And as I got older, I saw a lot of young players who maybe followed the wrong guys, took the wrong lead. And we used to refer to them as if you want to use a stoplight example, green lights, yellow lights, and red lights. So the green lights they're your best players, your hardest workers, right? Those guys are bringing it. They conduct themselves like professionals. Yellow lights are the guys, maybe they're younger or they're new and they're kind of looking for leadership. They're kind of looking around to see what everybody else is doing. What is the culture here with this organization? And then the red lights, those are can't get right or going down the wrong path. And the red lights they'll pull some of those guys in the middle with them, right, if you let them. And so hopefully, I think the best teams, right, hopefully have strong veteran player leaders, mentors, if you will, right, that can help everyone kind of follow the correct path. And really your culture is just your actions. What do you do? Like as a professional, what do you do to prepare? What do you do off the field? What do you do in meetings? What do you all those things are important, and if everything you're doing isn't to become a better football player, to help your team, to help your organization win a Super Bowl, then you're probably doing the wrong things. And I've seen a lot of young players go down the wrong path, guys that maybe could have had 10-year careers, have 3 or 4-year careers because they get messing around with the wrong people.
We're talking with Ed McCaffrey. A few more minutes with the Super Bowl winner, as he said, the Broncos in '97 and '98, a 3-time Super Bowl champion, Ed McCaffrey. So when you had to have proud moments in football, like we just went down and talked about, how much prouder were you when young son Christian McCaffrey was going in the top 10 in the draft, and for that matter, your son's play in the game?
Oh man, it was so incredibly exciting. Yeah, I was so happy for him. He had such a phenomenal year and phenomenal career, and it's been a dream of his since he was 7 years old to play in the NFL. And for every player, including Christian, right, that is a dream come true. So there's always that anticipation. Unless you're the first pick of the draft, there's still a little bit of anticipation, right? Where are you going to go? What pick are you going to get selected, and what team are you going to go to? And we weren't 100% sure where he would get picked. So there still was that kind of excitement, nervous energy as we waited to get picked. And so that was going on. But then once you're picked, right, that's a dream come true. So you're happy. It doesn't matter. Somebody loves you. Someone cares about you. And you're excited to go meet your coaches, meet your teammates, and start your NFL career.
Hey, Ed, we talk about this all the time on this show. How do you, as a former player, how do you fill that void of competition, of being around the guys in the locker room, of that vibe that you had for so long?
That's a great question. I think it's the number one thing players struggle with after they retire. Some players are pretty smart and they have another passion and they kind of prepare for a career. The obvious is coaching or broadcasting or, sticking around the game that because if you played in the NFL, you've accomplished more than anyone else in that sport in terms of your knowledge of at least your position, if not the game. So there's a lot of things you can do. But man, it's so hard to replace the energy, the dopamine rush, the excitement of playing in a live NFL football game where you're going to see a winner and a loser. There's going to be the good, the bad, and the ugly in the next 3 hours. And it's in front of everybody that you know in the entire world. It's hard to replace that. But for me, I have an entrepreneurial spirit, and so I started McCaffrey Brands. And so we have our McCaffrey Brands Rocky Mountain mustard and horseradishes that have been selling since 1998. And most recently, we created our website, McCaffreyBrands.com, and did our first national launch of a healthy snack, our McCaffrey Brands Protein Bites. And my whole life, I was really neurotic about my diet as a player. And, my kids are all athletes and football players, and they have to watch what they eat. More and more younger players at the camps that I put on every summer in June have allergies for whatever reason. I don't know what they're doing to some of our foods in this country, but a lot of kids are developing allergies because of them. So we developed, first and foremost, a great tasting healthy snack.
Nice.
We have birthday cake, fudge brownie, and chocolate chip cookie dough. So I like to lead off with that because they taste great, but they're also gluten-free, non-GMO, sustainably made, plant-based protein. You can eat them throughout the day. I used to eat 5 or 6 meals a day, a couple of snacks a day because I never wanted to go more than 2 to 4 hours without eating. And maintain your energy levels, get protein, which is deficient in our diets, helps with recovery, helps you stay healthy. So, but as an entrepreneur, I'm working with people again. And, I feel like a head coach all over again. We have a website team, we have a PR marketing team, I have my ops team. I'm dealing with our farmers and our manufacturers, our factories, our retailers, our warehouse. There's so many different people that I'm dealing with every day. And I'm working with my team towards the goal to create the best tasting, healthy snack on the planet. And we feel like we've done that with our protein bites, but we're just getting started. I mean, this is kind of my new passion that I'm pouring my life into. And so we'll eventually have cereal and oatmeal and other granola and other bars and all kinds of healthy snacks. I know that I tried to eat healthy my whole life, and a lot of the food I was eating tasted pretty awful, to be quite honest. So I'm creating these snacks for myself, but also with my team for other people who are looking for the same thing.
All right, you can check him out at 87Ed on X and then part of SiriusXM as they talk NFL. So I'm looking at your tweet from yesterday, and you said if Adam Schefter says it, then there's some truth to it. The Broncos are looking to trade up, and you've got the possibility of them jumping up and getting Genty, which wouldn't be unlike Terrell Davis with you guys back in the day. So would they jump into that 5th spot and make Jacksonville a king's ransom to jump up and get into that number 5 position?
I don't know if they have enough to do it. He's not going to fall to 20, that's for sure. I think he's a top 6 back or higher, right? Mm-hmm. I think 6 is the floor. The only question would be, does the team trade back to get him? So, for instance, I haven't ruled out the Cleveland Browns at number 2 trading back to get him if they don't want to take Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter. But Travis Hunter, we know Cam Ward's going first. Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter, they're going top 5. There's a lot of good offensive and defensive linemen, Campbell and Graham and a whole bunch of other guys. But I think Genty's going to be the first running back off the board, and I don't think he slips past 6. And I don't know if the Broncos have enough juice to trade up that high. More likely of a scenario would be for the Broncos to maybe take Hampton out of Carolina, who most people have ranked as the 2nd best back on the board. And he's definitely an all-around back and very talented. Yeah. And that way they wouldn't have to give up draft picks. However, I'm not ruling out the fact that they might have to trade up to get him, but not as high as top 6.
Yeah, good stuff. And just looking forward to Thursday night to see how it all plays out. Well, we appreciate your time at 87Ed, and definitely check him out on SiriusXM. Ed, thanks very much, man.
Thanks, guys. Let's do it again sometime.
All right, sounds good. And he's right when he says that you want to have those protein bites that doesn't have a lot of fillers and actually taste okay.
I'm looking at the website right now. They look pretty good, too.
I'm all about that as well. All right. We're going to keep the draft talk going. Our lads, we're going to jump in and kind of get an idea of what they're hearing as far as the movement that we just talked about, whether or not you're going to have someone jump in as high as the top 5 to get Genty, if that's possible. Score update.
Middle of the 3rd, 37-31 USC.
In the 3rd?
In the 3rd.
Middle? Oh, end of 3rd.
No, middle of the 3rd.
Middle of the 3rd.
37-31.
So SC scored to go up.
Yes, they scored.
You know what's interesting to me? You're always on like a 6-point difference. So you're always just setting up that either 2-point conversion, game-winning field goal. I love
That's
that.
the game
Love
of football.
It.
That's the game of football, man. It's back and forth, and it's done in most of the time in groups of 7. I love it. It's XL Primetime.
Step into the 1010XL Hall of Sports.
One word. Awesome. This room is awesome.
1010XL, where sports come to life.
Hey Jacksonville, Don from Taco Lou here. Spring has sprung, the temps are rising, and the summer is on the way. In our world, that can only mean one thing. Cinco is coming. Yes, the day everyone gets their taco fix and margarita fix, it could possibly be the best Monday of the year this year. If you're sitting at your desk on a Monday thinking no tacos for me, well, think again. We wouldn't let a big day like Cinco de Mayo slip by just because it's a Monday. Skip work or get the day off. But come and celebrate with us at Taco Lou in Jacksonville Beach. Maybe take Tuesday off. Taco Lou in Jacksonville Beach.
When it's time for new tires, you can count on Big Chief Tire for quality and value. Frank Franchi here. Their expert team will help you quickly find the right fit, ensuring a safe, comfortable ride. With quality options, fair prices, and quick installation, you'll be back on the road in no time. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 today to schedule your appointment and roll into 2025 with great confidence. Big Chief Tire keeps Jack rolling.
So, you finally have some time to yourself. Even if it is just the car ride home, it's you time. And look at you. Do not disturb set before you even got in the car? Impressive. You've earned this moment to just chill and drive. This break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
When persistent plumbing problems leave you feeling flushed, don't panic. Call Roland Reich. They quote all pricing in advance, so your only surprise is how quickly they'll solve your issue. Roland Reich Plumbing. PlumbingJacksonville.com.
At Performance Painting, we've spent decades protecting commercial properties with durable, long-lasting coatings. And we can bring the same expertise when painting the exterior of your home. With industry-leading materials and a proven process, we extend the life of your home, reducing maintenance costs and preserving its value. Now, for a limited time, save $500 when you hire us to paint your home's exterior. Just mention 1010XL. Go to performancepainting.com to schedule a friendly estimate. Performance Painting. Repair, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting. Before the picks come in, 1010XL will be all over the draft with every angle and option. 1010XL's draft coverage is brought to you by First Coast Recyclers and Renewal by Anderson Windows and Doors. Roll through the offseason with AA Automotive.
Mia here. You know, people typically start and end their day by visiting their closet. So shouldn't that space feel calm, organized, like a little moment of luxury? That's why I chose Closets by Design. They specialize in custom solutions for every lifestyle and budget. Call them this week to schedule your free in-home consultation and get 40% off plus another 15% off and free installation. Don't wait for mom to do it. Call now at 1-800-293-3744 or visit closetsbydesign.com.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes here with a challenge. A challenge might not be the best choice in words, so let's say an opportunity. Take the opportunity to lose 40 by the 4th with Awaken 180. It sounds a little different when you put a real goal to it, doesn't it? Maybe you looked at the scale this morning and it read 230 pounds. How about it reading 190 by the 4th? Maybe the scale says 300. Wouldn't the number 260 be a little nicer on your eyes and on your joints? It's attainable if you have the same results we all had with Awaken 180. I dropped 40 pounds in 9 weeks. Hacker dropped his first 40 in just 6 weeks. Dempsey, Blue, and everyone else I know, same results. And we've kept it off. The best thing about Awaken 180 weight loss, it will completely change the way you think, see, and feel about food. The results are real, attainable, and the process simple with Awaken 180. Take the opportunity and drop 40 by the 4th. It all starts with just one call to Awaken 180 weight loss. Call 844-346-1800 or online at awaken180weightloss.com.
It's heating up at Ride Now Jacksonville. Get water adventure ready with the 2024 Yamaha AR195 boat. With its supercharged engine, innovative design, and water sports features, the Yamaha AR195 is ready for anything you throw at it. Originally $46,000, now just $36,000. Oversized in-floor storage for wakeboards and extra gear, deck and hull design that maximizes space, comfort, and versatility like no other 19-foot boat. Ride Now Jacksonville on Blanding Boulevard. We'll meet or beat any price on all 2024 and prior models.
Beat the spring cleaning rush with big savings and priority booking by calling our heroes at Zero Res. This month, get Zero Resified from Jacksonville's #1 carpet cleaner. You'll get 25% off all cleaning services. That's right, 25% off. Check out 8,000 raving customer reviews if you don't believe me online. Call them, 904-287-5727, or visit their website, ZeroResJacksonville.com. Zero Res, spell it forwards or backwards. It's the right way to clean.
If you're heading to the Og or you're already part of the nation's oldest, don't forget to drop into Sunset Grill. For over 30 years, serving up great chowder, seafood, wings, and cold beer. Sunset Grill, somewhere on A1A, St. Augustine Beach.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
3 o'clock hour, cranking along, talking Jaguar ball, the draft, as it is coming up. Bush Drive Rich gave me a timer that I can download. So he's thinking about me, so I have the exact time of when the draft is. So I'll have that for you guys tomorrow since I butchered it. Thank you, earlier today. Joe C., along with Matt Hayes. You can check out his stuff at USA Today Sports. The Hurricane Hall of Famer, Leon Searcy. We've got our Searcy Sweet 16 matchup coming up. We will update you at the end of the third quarter coming up. But we went from Ed McCaffrey talking about what he thinks will happen in the draft to now our lads, David Syverson, as he joins us talking draft. David, how are you, buddy?
Good. How are you guys? Really glad to come on.
We appreciate your time for sure. Know it's busy right now. I'm reading where there hasn't been hardly any trades leading up to the first round from the NFL. We haven't seen too many shoes drop to this point. Why is that, in your opinion?
You know, this is a really unique draft class, and there's still a split crowd in the NFL between teams that put a lot into positional value, corners, wide receivers, quarterbacks, left tackles, edge defenders. There's also a camp of thought in the NFL. It's get best players, period, whether it's a running back, D tackle, tight end. Mm-hmm. And then this draft, I wrote this last fall, and this ended up being the case. This draft class lacks star power at those positions of value, but it has star power at the positions that don't have, per se, that position value. So because the league is so split on that philosophy overall, it's going to be a really everyone's trying to hold their cards tight to the chest, but I think we might be in for a show Thursday night because everyone's playing really tight to the chest, but once those cards are put on the table, we're going to see what their true intentions are.
Now, Dave, we always know, the closer we get to the draft, that the teams fall in love with quarterbacks, and sometimes they get overdrafted. And if you're talking about a Shedeur Sanders or you're talking about a Jackson Dart, could you see a scenario where both of those guys, along with Cam Ward, maybe be top 7, top 5 picks? Will anybody get that intrigued to take both of those guys or one of those guys at that position?
It's tough, guys. I mean, this hit rate on quarterbacks taken in the first round is basically a coin flip. And I think it's because teams are reaching for guys that are just not there. They're not on that level, and they don't have the support system around them to support a less than stellar skill set. And I think teams are starting to realize that it's on them as much as it is the players themselves to support them with a good supporting cast, a good offensive system, consistent coaching staff. And to me, I think that it's going to start to change this trend a little bit. Is let's build the rest of the roster and have a warm, inviting situation for a quarterback to come into rather than starting over at quarterback with no support around these guys. So I'm leaning in the other direction where I think a lot of these teams would rather trade up towards the end of the first round from the top of the second if they truly want one of these quarterbacks and use one of their first picks on building that support system.
Okay, David, I'm going to make you the Jags GM right now.
Let's do it.
If you're at 5, do you stay and choose, and who do you and what are you looking at as far as positionally, or do you move back because you know what you're looking for positionally? You can still get what you want later.
This is absolutely a move back draft because there's such a balance of grades from, I would even say from the 6th best player in your draft, or in the Jaguars case, the 5th best player in the draft and the 25th. It's really not that big of a gap. And if you can get these players graded equally, even at the same position, defensive tackle being one of them, but also pick up extra capital either this year or next, that sets you up for a true roster build. And I think that's what the Jaguars would do. But the thing is, you have to find a partner to dance with. Who really wants to trade up in this draft? Who wants to give up future assets or day 2 assets? Because what are you actually moving up for? Now, most teams have these guys graded out very similar. There's not a lot of blue chip guys in this class outside of Travis Hunter and Abdul Carter. Neither one of them is making it to 5 overall. So I'm not sure who is actually going to be trading up for the Jaguars at that position that the Jaguars themselves wouldn't want. Mason Graham, to me, is the guy where I think you have to start the discussion because he's a true difference maker, and he also, in regard to the Jaguars specifically, he complements what this team already has very well. He's a great lateral mover. He's shifty. He's quick. He's a much better pass rusher than some of these numbers and metrics will lead you to believe, where you put him next to a Mason Smith, a Davon Hamilton, even Jordan Jefferson, Eric Armstead. Those guys are a little bit less athletic. They're not as shifty. They're not as quick. They're not as agile. And to me, you want as much variety and versatility up front. And I think Mason Graham gives you that at 5 overall.
Our Lads, you can always go there and check out a lot of great stuff. David Syvertson, part of Our Lads. You can find him at OurLads_SY as the draft draws closer and closer. I agree with what you're saying that there may not be that many takers, but can you dangle the Genty possibility and get someone to bite? A Chicago, a Vegas. We were just talking with Ed McCaffrey in Denver, and they're probably too far back. But is he the only bargaining chip that would excite a team enough to jump up?
I do think that's the name that you would be. If anyone's going to trade up, it probably would be for Genty. And what goes against the Jaguars in that regard is there's so many backs. I mean, this is one of the deepest, if not the deepest running back groups I've ever seen since I've been with our lads, over 11 years now. And it's a hard sell for some of these teams to really trade up and get him, especially if you have to give up another, future first rounder or even a day 2 pick in this draft. But that is probably the one asset. Another name that I want you to keep an eye on is Tatora McMillan from Arizona, because he's not in the Malik Neighbors, Rome Odunze, Marvin Harrison tier that we had at this time last year. But this wide receiver group, beyond him, there isn't a true jump ball, contested catch guy that can match Tatora McMillan's skill set. His grade could be similar to a Luther Burden, Emeka Egbuka, Matthew Golden, but McMillan stands out because of what his tools are. And if someone wants that big possession receiver that can get behind the defense, that can run routes, that can make things happen after the catch, that's another name worth keeping an eye on in regard to a trade-up.
Now, David, as I look at this position grouping, I'm looking at the defensive ends, the defensive tackles, and you could have somewhere between 12 to 15 guys going to top 50 picks. Absolutely. I mean, is that not the most prevalent grouping of compared to all the other groups in the draft?
Oh, it's by far. I mean, if you're going to combine, especially if you're going to combine those two groups, defensive line, defensive front, whatever you want to call them, edge, DN, D-tackle, nose tackle, it's through the roof. I mean, and it's also what makes it a really unique group is that there's an abundance. There's multiple prospects at every section of defensive line. You want the big physical run defending type, you have 3-4 guys to choose from. You want your classic 3 technique that can burst upfield and create havoc in the backfield, you have 3 or 4 guys. On the edge, you have your undersized, smaller, former off-ball linebackers. There's 4 of them in this class that can really make a difference as an outside pass rusher. You also have your true edge setters, your guys that play like Trevon Walker. You have multiple guys like that in this tier. So, I mean, you just have so many answers, and it's going to be fun to watch what kind of run we see both in the first and second round. I think before the end of the second round, we might see 18 defensive linemen taken in those first 64 picks.
Wow. David, so here's an odd question, but I'm sure you've dealt with it already. Is it possible that Jackson Dart is selected before Shedeur Sanders?
Absolutely, because you know why? I'm looking at my stack right now. I vetted these guys inside and out since September. I started my quarterback process really early this year. After all is said and done, I've watched every drop back from the past 2 years from both these guys. They ended, and this is pretty rare, with the same exact numerical grade, and that goes to a decimal point of the 100th. I mean, they ended with the same exact grade, but they got there in completely different ways, and that's why I do think one of these guys does not stand out from the other, but their play styles and how they get their success are completely different. And you put 32 opinions in the same room, they don't have the same template for what they want at quarterback. So Jackson Dart, to me, I mean, he's a much thicker, much more athletic, much better against the pass rush type quarterback, a playmaker. Shedeur Sanders is more of a point guard. He's smarter. He knows the game better. He's got better footwork, much better release and accuracy. If you want more of that, quote, game manager, when that is not an insult, I love the game manager. Give me him all day. I think that's what Liam Cohen wants to work, or any of these quarterback coaches want to work with now from that Shanahan tree, which Liam Cohen comes from, O'Connell, McVay. They want the game manager. They want the guys that don't make mistakes. They know where to go with the football. That's what Shedeur Sanders is to me, and that's exactly what Jackson Dart is not. So to me, these guys could come in off the board in any order because they're equally graded, but they get there in different routes.
All right, so before we let you go, and you can definitely follow him at @OurLads_SI, the not named Gray Zabel, best interior lineman that you think could be around 36 when the Jags get their second-round pick.
Donovan Jackson from Ohio State, multiple-year starter at guard. He went out and played left tackle after Josh Simmons, a fellow NFL draft prospect, got hurt, tore his patellar tendon against Oregon early in the year. He shifted outside, and I'll tell you what, that team does not win the national championship without Donovan Jackson. But to me, he's the kind of guy, I mean, he's got length to the outside. Some teams are actually looking him at tackle. I'm keeping him inside. He's a much better athlete than he looks like, but he's maybe not as powerful. But the guy doesn't make mistakes. He reads the game, and you know what I see a lot with young guards, especially, and centers in the NFL, they're not good at anticipating all these complex pass rush packages that the NFL defenses throw at them. And Donovan Jackson, to me, head on a swivel, quick feet, a lot of good balance, stays square, and when he gets his hands inside, it's over. And I think that's the kind of guy exactly what the Jaguars would love to have, because he does give you that outside flex if you need a swing tackle as well.
All right, love it. I know Duval likes to hear that as well. David, we appreciate it, bro. Keep busy, and we know that you'll have fun all the way up, not just through Thursday night, but through the weekend.
Oh, absolutely. I'll be in front of that TV all weekend, guys. Thank you for having me on.
All right, man. David Syvertson, Our Lads. Make sure you check him out. We have got the last quarter of this football game.
Into the third, going into the fourth.
The score is?
USC 44, LSU 38.
Wow. 44-38. An unbelievable
And I know this is going to shock everybody. It's a 6-point. This is, I'm telling you right now, this is happening. This is going to be a late touchdown, extra point win. I can feel this coming.
It's coming. It's coming up next on XL Primetime.
The past comes to life in the present.
And the Jaguars are going to the playoffs.
The memories bridge the gap to the future.
From 27-0 to win the game.
Experience the most play-by-play sports on 1010XL.
MOV, ING, Southside Kia is moving. Our moving sale is on right now. Help us clear new Kias out. Our current selection's got 200 plus Kias on the lot. Hurry to save big with us. New rides starting at just $20,000 bucks. Plus, bring your tax refund today. We'll double it up to $5K. MOV, ING, get to Southside Kia this spring. Online at SouthsideKiaJax.com. Get your next ride at Southside. For complete details, call 904-325-9208.
Mike Dempsey here. Look, you know, it's been 10 years that I've been vouching for my guys at Dandy Boots, and for a decade, I'm proud of my association with a local family business. They make a great product. I've made no secret that I was a customer long before Dandy ever came on board on 1010XL. But I'm thinking I'm due a little Dandy swag, maybe a little love. How about a Dandy t-shirt, a ball cap? So how about it, Thompson family? What do you got going on over there? In the meantime, I'm going to keep eating those delicious tuna salad sandwiches. So guys, keep helping me out and grab a Dandy sandwich today.
With 50 years of fabrication expertise and towing products, the family at Cannons of Jacksonville can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
The Sawgrass Marriott Golf Resort and Spa is the perfect place for indulging in a pampering spa treatment. This Mother's Day season, give the gift of wellness with a gift card and take advantage of the spa's current promotion. Buy a $75 gift card or more and guests get a credit towards a future service. With healing massages, revitalizing facial treatments, and more, a day at the Sawgrass Spa makes a perfect gift for everyone. Purchase in person at Sawgrass Spa during operating hours.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On April 22nd, 1981, Baseball Hall of Fame Los Angeles Dodgers rookie pitcher Fernando Valenzuela tosses his third shutout in 4 starts.
Spring has sprung, and so have the bugs. It's Hayes Carline and my friends at Kingfish Pest Control offer an exclusive $99 spring special. That's right, your initial pest control service is just $99. And if you call today, they'll include a free one-time mosquito treatment. Kingfish Pest Control is family-owned, 5-star rated with no binding contracts and 100% satisfaction guarantee. Call them now to book your service. Only at Kingfish Pest Control, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Need protection? Call Craig and Christine Kaprosky at Goosehead Insurance. The Kaproskys are a husband-wife team committed to finding you the right coverage at the right price in just a few short minutes. For home, auto, flood, or specialty insurance, Craig and Christine Kaprosky are the answer. Craig.Kaprosky at Goosehead.com.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey man, what's that noise?
Do you hear it too? You can hear it, right?
Yeah, it's your air conditioner. It's like a grinding or a rattling.
And it's getting on your nerves, right? Like it's eating at your brain and you can't think straight? But it just keeps grinding and squeaking and taunting and nagging. You're not good enough. You're a failure. Why can't you be more like your sister, the lawyer?
Yeah, I don't hear that last part so much.
Yeah, but it's not cool, right, Jason?
It could definitely be cooler. At Bueller Air and Plumbing, we can totally repair whatever that noise is and get your AC working smoothly and silently. We fix these things all the time.
So I won't be a failure?
Life should be enjoyed. If some irritating, broken air conditioner is making you crazy, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Frank Frangie here. I was talking to a buddy the other day. His HOA told him his old fence had to go. I said, man, call Coil Fencing. They've been around the block since 1927. Heck, they probably built half the fences in Jacksonville. They do it all. Tough chain link for security. Those fancy aluminum ones the HOA actually likes. Nearly a century of keeping yards safe and looking good. If you need a fence, call Coil. You can trust the folks at Coil. 904-356-4821 or visit CoilJacks.com. COYLE Jacks.com.
Okay, sports fans, Hicken here. Let's talk skin. I and Beaches Dermatology are reminding you all to wear your sunscreen. Spring is here, and that means more time outside. Grabbing the clubs for your tea time? Bring the screen. Heading out on the boat? Bring the screen. Headed to the beach? Definitely bring the sunscreen. All in all, make sure sunscreen is included in your outdoor activities. If you have any concerns now, give Beaches Dermatology a call. I've been seeing them for years, and my skin thanks me for it. Call today online at beachesdermatology.com.
Jumbo Shrimp Baseball is home this week at the newly renovated VyStar Ballpark. The Jumbo Shrimp take on the AAA Atlanta Braves. Tomorrow is our first Wear It Home Wednesday. Free t-shirts to the first 500 fans. Courtesy of Renewal by Anderson and Better Health. Baseball all weekend. Tickets start at just $5. JackShrimp.com for tickets. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball. Affordable family fun.
What does your dream backyard look like? Hey, it's Joe C. and my friends at CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living can design an outdoor kitchen layout custom built to your taste and lifestyle. You dream it, they can build it. CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. Visit CSSOutdoor.com.
1010 1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since 87.
All right, my takeaway is...
Oh, my God, this is so exciting.
Let me read some of these stats for you, first of all, before we get to the conclusion of the game. We got Joe Burrow. He's 38 of 44, 505 yards, 7 touchdowns.
The ball
Good God.
never touched the ground.
Okay,
That's a really good USC defense, you know.
I know. Matt Leinart is 32 of 40, 495, and 6 touchdowns.
Oh, my God.
Reggie Bush had 20 carries, 175 yards, 1 touchdown, 10 catches for 120 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jamar Chase had 15 receptions for 220 and 4 touchdowns.
Wait, let me stop you real quick. Reggie Bush has 290 all-purpose yards?
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
That's not even including his kickoff returns, right?
No, no kicker. Well, no.
It's got to be. It's got.
No.
Yeah.
And Justin Jefferson, we got 10 catches, 175 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Final score, LSU, USC, 55-54, LSU.
Oh my God.
Eddie. Oh.
55-54.
He is.
Go Tigers. Go Tigers.
Wait, we got to go down the field and get Ed Orgeron's quick field interview
And
after
I'm
that.
glad you didn't have that Rafa Salafusa who never got past number 1.
That's
Simple
55-54, man. Wow.
Incredible.
Listen, I saw the Arsenal on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
I wanted to take into account that USC had a pretty good defense, which they did that particular year. But Chase and Jefferson?
Well, and the other thing is,
imagine if the real college football playoff was like this 55-54.
Vegas just got worked.
They
That's
got
all
worked.
about it.
The over was 60.5, right?
Yeah, and 3.5 point line. They happily
They were off by like 51 points
coming up
man.
to the window and everyone was just laying that. And Vegas, they got rocked on that one.
Well, so they get to the semifinals. So 2019
right?
LSU's in the Final Four, along with 2013 FSU and 2008 Florida Gators. Now the next game is 2010 Auburn versus 2001 Hurricanes.
Okay.
Well, I wonder who's going to win that game.
Yeah. You never know. You never know,
Matt.
If nothing else.
So where did LSU?
I think I know.
These mythical matchups have surprised us all.
Where did LSU final into for the semifinals? Who are they playing in the semis?
The semifinals, they play Miami.
Well, who are they playing
You
against?
mean the winner of?
They're the winner of Miami and Auburn.
Plays LSU.
So you just slipped up, bro.
Why? He said the winner of Miami Auburn.
Miami Auburn.
Yeah.
So the winner of Miami Auburn
Plays
plays
LSU.
LSU.
So 2008 Florida plays. Who's the other one?
2013 FSU.
Oh, right. Yeah. Wow.
Right.
So we could have Florida.
You see what he did there?
Florida
He made-
State, Miami, and LSU.
I think that's the way
set
the
up.
football world would like to see it again.
He set up for 2 state teams to play in the final. That's number one.
Yeah.
But he also set up that Florida and Florida State would not play in the final.
Yeah. It's kind of like what they did
That's
with
the
Georgia and
Canaan
Alabama
right there.
in the
Even
college
though he's
football playoff.
orange and blue to the death, that's the Canaan.
No, listen, I just think 2008 Florida, who upset 1995 Nebraska.
Completely, yes.
Absolutely.
And the deal is that the only thing that Searcy was charged with, that's Searcy spelled with a U, that he just put the teams in the field. These games are all played, okay?
In his head, in his computer head.
No, mythical matchups, man. They are all played, okay? One guy texted in, he goes, here I
You're
am.
telling me they're actually being played? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
All right, I didn't know
One
that.
guy texts in, he goes, here I am thinking big fella is simulating these games on an app or game system. Nope. He's splitting the Oreo and saying the perfect split, USC scores, bad split, pick 6. And we don't know, okay? We just know that they are being
We don't know how it's happening. It's
You
just
know how it's
happening.
happening. All I know is that at 8:30 in the morning,
It just comes to you.
I'm in the lab, okay? I'm in the freaking lab.
This is
putting
how
in
people
work.
felt back before television.
Yes.
So you'd have to open the paper and you'd be like, oh, we won, honey.
Yes. Well, especially if they're on the West Coast. You don't know until the next morning.
We do not know.
Yes.
Okay? Till you hear that paper hit the driveway. That doesn't happen as much anymore.
All right. My takeaway is I always thought Ashton Genty was a pipe dream coming here. And now I just keep hearing it more and more. And now Duraco today, his pick, and again, it's just Duraco. We love Duraco.
Mm-hmm.
They do it every year. Duraco's not picking Genty unless he's hurt something. He's not just randomly picking Genty.
Do you think that there's intel coming out of the building that is
I think that they might be interested. I'm not saying they're going to pick him. I'm just saying I'm sure they have interest in it.
I think what they're doing right now, it's like I posed the question to David from Our Lads. He's the only chip right now that you can get someone to play.
Move to. Yeah,
that's all. Play.
Yeah,
that's it. And someone.
So you think they're telling Duraco to say Genty?
If you had
and then that gives them a better deal. Are you playing chess right now, Joe?
Bro.
Is that what you're doing?
They're not telling him to say it.
We're all here playing Parcheesi, and you're playing chess.
Look, I'm just saying he's the only attractive piece right now. It ain't Tet. It ain't Jalen.
It ain't Mason.
No. Okay, well, if you had to put a percentage, I'll give you three choices: McMillan, Genty, or trade. What would what percentage would you put all three of those at?
I think the thing that's starting to loom larger and larger is that there's less quality first-round bona fide players for someone outside the top 10 to jump in. So that makes the trade less likely. And then I say you're probably going to be stuck at 5 picking Mason Graham, which I don't want to say stuck and then say picking Mason Graham because that's not a bad pick.
Well, if you got 5 and you've got partakers behind you like the Raiders, or the Cowboys at 12, I mean, I would do the same thing the Jags are doing. Hey, listen, I'm interested in this guy. Maybe someone
show some legit interest.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're doing.
I also think this late fog of the quarterbacks are falling is not going to be real. I also think they're just throwing that out there. They're trying to get them to fall.
How about the fact that Syvertson says, hey, I graded them and they graded out
It sounds like a game show.
Syvertson says that he graded them out the exact same. Well, the talk is that Shedeur could go from the 3rd pick overall to the 33rd pick.
Yeah.
That's basically the wide range and maybe even beyond that. But for Our Lads to say that Dart and Shedeur are basically the same grade, maybe different player, but same type of grade, then how in the world could we talking about from 3 to 33?
Do you think the Sanders group has gotten some intel that may happen? Because they're not going to the draft. And when would you ever think that
Dion would pass up on a glamorous opportunity?
Come on now.
Yeah. It's a good point. I thought about it earlier today. I'm like, Shedeur's not going.
Or they wanted money and the NFL said no.
I don't think you don't ask.
You don't ask for money.
Oh, yeah, I don't believe you do.
Yeah, normal people don't ask for money, but
apparently the players will get
that's a different world there,
paid
bro.
to wear certain things and jewelry, and so you make money by going to the red carpet
being
regardless.
There. Yeah, which you would think Dion would eat that up. You know who else eats stuff like that up?
I didn't get that.
Like just wears bling just to be seen.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. CoolCatsJacks.com.
The coolest cats in town.
Embedded in Shred is a bling machine.
I mean, if anything screams bling, it's Hayes Carolina.
Yeah, it is. He's unbelievable.
I got a gold-plated hairdryer right here.
He's unbelievable. Watch him on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so Carline and I passed in the hall. I tried to steal some intel from him, but that's the only shiny piece that's out there, Genty, right now to get anybody to come up, and it's only gonna be based on what we're talking about. How deep is this first round? Only going to be 5 to 7, maybe. What would you judge teams that are willing to move up and pay the price?
I think none. I mean, you hope that that's incorrect, but why would I give up draft capital to move up to take anybody in this draft? To me, it doesn't make sense. I mean, it'd be great for the Jaguars if they're able to find a partner, but there's running backs throughout this entire draft.
It's a deep.
Why would you give up picks to trade up to take Ashton Genty? It just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, it is a deeper running back class than you would like to have. And O'Mara and some of these other guys that are being tossed out there possibly could come up.
That was the best candidate for people to try to make kind of get the conjecture going. He's the most believable guy that somebody might trade up to 5, because obviously there's really nothing at quarterback. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think they're going to pick at 5.
Can we get Jerry Jones to fall in love with him? He might.
I mean, look, and if you're the Jaguars, I would say, you're willing to take less than maybe market for the pick. just to get out of there, particularly if they end up taking like Tedero McMillan, who I think they're pretty safe to move back to, 10 or 11 and still acquire T-Mac if that's the direction they're going. Or anyway, it's just, I think if they're hoping to trade out, I think it's going to be a long night.
Okay.
I think they're picking at 5. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't see.
Well, you're embedded.
I don't see why anybody would move
Shredded.
up. It's more just finding the partner to me. I mean, if you're a GM, why would you give up draft capital to go to 5?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
All right, what's cooking?
But hopefully it happens. We will break all that down coming up on the Fringe Show, talk lots of Jaguars draft, and we'll get into some college football. We'll talk some Gators, Knowles, some college basketball as well. So lots of fun stuff coming up on the Frangie Show.
All right, my brother.
Thank you, guys.
We will be listening. Hayes, France, JJ. They keep it rolling.
By the way, never discount dumb in the NFL draft.
Oh, that's been my rule forever. You got GMs that just because they have that title doesn't mean they're capable of doing the job. Okay? So we have got that to look forward to, and we've got another matchup. Final spot in the Final Four.
Auburn 2010 versus Miami 2001.
Let's go, Canes!
All right. Looking
Canes don't
forward
want any of
to
that
it.
smoke, man.
Tomorrow.
Cam Ward, baby. I mean, not Cam Newton.
Yeah. All right, it's XL Primetime. We are done. We appreciate all of y'all for hanging out. Miss any of it, all you got to do is go to YouTube, search XL Primetime. You can go back, watch the show, and listen to all the highlights that Big Sur's had from his mythical matchup. Big Sur's, Matty, Joe C, and JJ.
This time I got it right.
With that, game on.
Here's another classic Florida Gator moment.
The winner of this year's Heisman Trophy is Tim Tebow.
I'd like to thank my teammates. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here, and I'm accepting this trophy on behalf of them.
1010XL, home of the Florida Gators.
When you're a little kid on the playground, they tell you don't hit back. Well, the courtroom isn't a playground. And if you've suffered an injury or death in your family, I'm here to tell you it's okay to hit back and fight to make them pay. I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and at Hastings Injury Law, we understand all the pain and emotion that comes with being wrong. And we've dedicated our lives to making things right for people like you. So if you get hit back with Hastings Injury Law. Offices, Jacksonville.
Get this thing unwrapped here. Duval!
Praz, what in the world are you doing working on your Duval?
That's right, man. I really identify with Duval.
You live in St. John's County, knucklehead.
I mean the Duval sub, the Dailies Dash Duval. Turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheeses. Lettuce, tomato, crispy and fresh, like me. I'm sure there's a Dailies Dash sub that sums you up.
The boss.
Because, of course.
Oven roasted beef, Munster cheese, roasted mushrooms, caramelized onions. It's the boss of all subs. Only available for me.
That's just not true.
What do you mean? I walked in the other day, screamed, "You know it!" and said, "A boss for a boss."
Well, no matter who you are, there is a Dailies Dash sandwich or sub for you.
Go find yours. They may even make you a boss.
I'm sure they will, because it is Dailies Dash.
Where more is better.
And you got that right.
Getting a pool? David Garrard here. I just did. But before they dug, I called Clearwater Irrigation, and they capped off all my sprinkler lines so the pool company could just dig away.
Then when your pool's finished, we'll